October 12th, it's 4:03 p.m. We're in the first floor conference room at City Hall. With that, I'm calling the meeting to order. And item 2 is to conduct an assessment hearing for East Grand Avenue from 3rd Street to 8th Street. And I'll open the public hearing for that. Joe, would you like to give us a report?
Sure. So a quick run through the engineer's report. Give you a summary of the assessment values and how the assessments are calculated. So in your packets, the proposed assessment reports for each property were included for a variety of different items that are being assessed for: permanent street surfacing, curb and gutter, sidewalk, sanitary and water services, and so those 4 items. There are 27 properties that are within this assessment district. The total cost of assessments is $257,011.67. A couple notable items with the assessments and how we calculated them. By city policy, for permanent street surfacing on arterial streets and collector streets, we assess at 15% of the total cost of permanent street surfacing. And so that rate was $36.37. Since it's a concrete pavement, also by city policy, we only charge for asphalt, an asphalt equivalent. And so what we did was we averaged 2018 costs, because we couldn't actually derive what the actual cost would be in this case, because we use concrete pavement. We averaged 2018 permanent street surfacing rates for asphalt. It included High Street from 10th Avenue to 12th Avenue, High Street from 12th Avenue to 17th Avenue, Van Buren Street, and then also we included 7th Street, which was immediately adjacent to this project, and we thought that was a representative sample. So that's how the $36.37 was calculated for permanent street surfacing. There are 2 properties that were over the anticipated assessment cost that was originally noticed to the property owners. One of them is Wood Trust Bank. That is due to the request to do additional sidewalk maintenance around their entire parcel. So they have the entire block. It's actually 3 separate parcels, but the entire block between 1st Street and Oak Street, 3rd Street, and East Grand, or 2nd Street, I should say. So that's one. The other is the church at 3rd Street in East Grand. That was just over by, I think, $100. They had a sanitary lateral, an additional one that came off of East Grand that we didn't anticipate or know that was there. So those are the 2 that were slightly over. Otherwise, all the other proposed assessments are within the estimated costs that were provided to them initially. And I guess that concludes my report.
All right. I don't have any questions. Anybody? With that, I'd move that we accept the report.
Well, prior to that, we should see if there's anyone that is listening
That's true. I didn't think we did.
that wishes to speak.
Is anybody listening in on this?
This is Shane Burkhardt, representing the St. John's Episcopal Church. And we have a handful of concerns that we will mail over because we feel like there's still some outstanding items. We just want to know the best way to address those.
Present it now.
Go ahead. Yeah. What do you have, Shane?
Well, the email that the vestry sent over. And I'm rather new to the vestry, but it's my job to now represent it. So, There are some hoses that are visible on the corner of Grand and 4th. I don't know if we have any reason why those didn't get reconciled or taken out. 2 sprinkler heads that were broken by the road crews, and we incurred the cost to replace them. Sprinkler system on the 4th Street was removed and not replaced when Waterworks and Lighting came through, and then the rock area on Oak Street was never backfilled after it was dug up for electrical reasons. And I'm guessing this isn't the proper thing to work through all the details on, but we just wanted to bring up that we still had some concerns of things that felt like they weren't fully resolved. So my plan and to the vestry was that we were going to submit a letter to the 2 Joes, just so that it can be documented, and then I can be available to meet and talk through anything on site if needed.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate, given that those items are, outside the scope of the assessment. They're more project-related concerns or, alleged damages or things like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, and so we just wanted to make sure that it was, we're on board with the assessment and everything. We just wanted to make sure that, as it's still known that we still have some issues.
And I think the sooner you could potentially address those, the better, just because for project closeout reasons and things like that, the longer, because it was a state administrative project, if there was something that the general contractor did that needs to be followed up on, it's easier if they haven't been paid in full yet. So the sooner the better.
I believe that the letter should be coming to you guys tomorrow. Is your preference by email, or I suggest we do email and send an actual letter just for a paper trail on it too?
Yeah, I think that'd be desirable.
Okay. And then once you 2 get it and review it, get in touch with me and I can come out and meet with you guys and take a look at it.
That sounds good.
Thank you, Shane.
Thanks, Shane.
So noted. Is there anybody else on the line? Anybody else on the phone line? One more time, is anybody else on our phone line? Not hearing from anybody else, I'll close the public hearing. And with that, I'll move that we accept the report.
Second.
All in favor, respond by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, ayes have it. So then we gotta take care of 3, really? Or we kinda did it.
For the resolution?
So I guess that's the question. Maybe would you be interested in amending your motion to because the resolution also approves the report to amend that.
Why don't we
so
go
that
to let's say item 3, and we'll review the engineer assessment report and take action on the assessment resolution for East Grand Avenue from 3rd Street to 8th Street. And if there's no questions by anybody, I'll move that we approve the resolution, the assessment resolution.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, committee will vote. All in favor, respond by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. That brings us to item number 4, and that's adjournment. And I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, respond by aye. Aye.
Aye.
The meeting's adjourned at 4:13 p.m. Thank you, everybody.